From the Whiskey Tangent Studios in Marlton, New Jersey, this is Whiskey Tangent News.
Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast with another episode of Whiskey News. Woo! And joining me as always is Scott.
Hey everybody.
And I'm going to tell you what stories we're going to get into today and what else is going on.
All right.
First of all, we're going to have 7 total news stories. 3 of them will be standard industry news. Then we are back for 2 true crime, which has been absent for a couple episodes.
It has since May.
And then a couple of feel-good stories, which we don't always get, especially with the contraction in the market recently. Everybody dooming and glooming. Scott's going out of his way to find a couple of stories to just pick us up.
Yeah, that's right.
And then 13 new whiskeys you may be able to buy this month if you can afford them. How's they look this month? Good deals?
Yeah, some good deals, and then some ridiculous expensive ones just to make fun of them.
Right. And then we're going to tell you what's coming up on the podcast and why our schedule got a little bit disheveled.
Yes.
You know, we had a couple of dead weeks, but that wasn't completely our fault. We could have just scheduled some AI episodes in our place. Maybe had hologram Scott and Ed fill in with some generic, this is Jim Beam White Label. Let's break it down. So Scott's going to kind of do what he does and tell us the news.
Yeah, so it is September 2025, and here's all the news that's fit to drink. So before we get to the industry news, the top story is what Ed alluded to, the reason why we took some time off, and we were supposed to go to Denver. So the top story is Whiskey Tangent Podcast gets the Denver Blues. The Global Whiskey Challenge, Christopher Davis invited us very nicely a few months ago. And
as judges?
As judges, yes. I mean, we were super excited to do so.
And we were there last year as observers, kind of getting our feet wet when it was in New York.
Yeah.
And so we said, hey, we could use some judges, so come on out.
Right. But then 2 weeks before we were supposed to go, he emailed us and said that it was probably not a good idea for us to make the investment, his words, to, fly out there and, spend all the money, blah, blah, blah.
Plus they're spending money on us too.
Right.
Exactly. Hotel rooms, a lot of food, a lot of meals, transportation. All we had to pay was our flights.
But the reason was that they had gotten, because of tariffs.
Yeah, because of tariffs and the contraction of the industry.
Yes, that they had gotten less than half of the entries that they had the year before. Which is bad, and they're either postponing it or just
maybe a contracted, a compacted view of what they did.
Yeah, we'll find out, and if they did have it, we'll report on our next news.
Yeah, right. It strikes me as a little bit of short-sightedness on some of the distilleries that didn't participate. Now, other ones might simply have been foreign whiskeys that are having trouble getting their stuff in due to cost.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It would be interesting to know which segment of the whiskey industry was not being represented as much as it was last year, because they had 3 different competitions, basically one of North America, one of Europe, and one of Asia.
Right.
So 2/3 are coming from international markets.
Right. That's why it's called the Global Whiskey Challenge.
That's right. That's right. So we didn't get to go. We're disappointed, but Ed sent a nice email back to him, and he said, thanks for understanding, guys, and that we will work with him in the future.
Absolutely. We have a tremendous relationship with Chris Davies. He's an amazing man.
Yeah.
And he runs many other wine competitions and spirit tastings, and he still has a lot of irons in the fire. He's still got a lot of work to do, and we're always happy to work with Chris and his crew out there in Colorado.
Yes. All right. So now we're going to do industry news. The first story is from the New York Times. Diageo shuts down bottling plant. Canadians make threats. Last week, Diageo announced that it will shutter its Crown Royal bottling facility in Amherstburg, Ontario in February 2026, which they say will improve its North American supply chain and position it for long-term sustainable growth, while maintaining that Crown Royal will continue to be mash distilled and aged in Canada, just as it has been since 1939. However, because the move will eliminate over 200 union jobs in a town that has a population of just over 15,000, people are less than pleased. So in response, the Premier of Ontario Province, Doug Ford, appeared at a news conference and launched into an attack against Diageo's decision. This is what I think about Crown Royal, said Ford, who produced a bottle of the whiskey, opened it, and poured its contents on the ground.
Oh.
Continuing with, everyone else should do the same, and hinting that he might go further. Ford said that the factory closing would jeopardize the $740 million of business that provincial liquor stores conduct with Diageo each year, warning, you hurt my people, I'm going to hurt you. And he's not joking. Earlier this year, after Trump's tariff threats and remarks about annexing Canada as the 51st state, it was Ford who ordered the removal of all beer, wine, and liquor made in the United States from the shelves of the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, the government-owned retailer that is one of the largest buyers of alcohol in the world. Additionally, John Diageo, president of the Workers' Union, said that if Diageo didn't change its mind, he'd advocate for pulling not just Crown Royal from its liquor stores, but all of Diageo's brands, including Guinness, Johnny Walker, Smirnoff, and Bailey's. However, with sales of just over $20 billion during its last fiscal year, it's unclear how much of an effect it would actually have on Diageo's bottom line.
Well, I mean, if Canada's not going to buy Crown Royal, I think it's going to hurt a little bit.
That's right. That's what I was thinking too.
And I'm not sure if because Diageo is an American company, I believe it is. Is it an American company?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Scott,
I'll look it up.
Scott's checking now.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that Crown Royal doesn't employ more than 200 people across the entire country of Canada.
Right. No, this was just one bottling plant.
I know.
They
So
have several others.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cut off your nose to spite your face. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you want to go to war with Crown Royal directly.
Yeah,
You know?
or Diageo. So Diageo is a British multinational alcoholic beverage company headquartered in London, England.
All right. So Canada's part of the Commonwealth. Like
Right.
they're supposed to like at least have better communication than that.
It seems like a bit of an overreaction.
No, I can see why they're mad.
Yeah.
But 220 jobs is a lot to that particular region. But in the scheme of a multinational conglomerate restructuring, I mean, unfortunately, thousands of jobs get moved around. You know,
Yeah.
you'd like corporate America to have a little bit of a conscience.
Yeah.
And be like, well, how much money are we really saving? You know, like, is it worth putting 220 people out on the street? People that worked for us and made our product, you know, and had pride in what they did. So,
Yeah. But, you know, this is the contraction, right? This
Yeah.
is the consolidation that companies are doing to save money in this
so they're
environment.
just not moving it anywhere. They're just closing it.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to put out the same number of bottles without that plant.
Apparently, yes. Yeah. And Crown Royal had a 3-point-something% increase last year. So, you know, they're doing well.
Right. So, right. Why?
Exactly.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. I don't know.
I blame Diageo in this one right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. All right. Second story.
Yes.
From bourbonobsessed.com, Heaven Hill officially opens new Bardstown distillery.
Aren't they already in Bardstown?
Right. This confused me a little bit. So once I read the article, then I understood. Heaven Hill Brands, the nation's largest family-owned and operated distilled spirits company, has commemorated the grand opening of the Heaven Hill Springs Distillery, a state-of-the-art facility that marks their first distilling in Bardstown since November of 1996, when a fire destroyed their distillery and several rickhouses. Connected to their existing visitor center, which we were at, the new $200 million distillery actually began production back in April, joining their Bernheim facility in Louisville, making Heaven Hill the largest independent bourbon producer in America. Said Kate Latz, co-president of Heaven Hill Brands, as an independent company, we've always had the freedom to take the long view. The Heaven Hill Springs Distillery is a generational investment in our brands, our people, and our place in Kentucky. It's designed for the future of American whiskey. The facility's initial capacity will be 150,000 barrels per year, but can scale up to 450,000 barrels. It's also a flagship of Heaven Hill's environmental sustainability strategy, representing a significant leap forward in operational efficiency and environmental stewardship, including using high-efficiency energy systems, lessening their water consumption, and establishing and preserving on-site white oak woodlands and native prairie habitat.
All right, that's interesting. So after the major fire in 96, which is a long time ago, I want to point out.
Yes.
They never went back to distilling whiskey on that property.
Right.
They just shifted it to the Bernheim distillery, and then they kept their offices and visitor center.
Yeah, and their rickhouses are there too.
Yeah, they have rickhouses there,
Yeah.
correct. I don't
Yeah.
think I realized that. Even after we had the tour there,
Right.
I don't think I realized, because they have all these signs about showing how they make their whiskey.
Yeah, it was sort of like a museum-ish kind of thing
Yeah.
where you would walk around, but we actually didn't even do that because we were kind of late.
We kind of did it on our own a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That
It was
weird.
raining. It was towards the end of our Kentucky trip. We were a little bit bourbon burned out.
Yeah, I think we were supposed to go to one of the rick houses.
Yeah, and we didn't need to do that. And also,
We'd done it 4 times
everything
already.
we tried that tour, we'd already had.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting to taste all those side by side.
It was.
It was all the bottle and bonds, right?
Yeah, except for the one I wanted, which is the Old Fitzgerald. You know, which I was really hoping would be part of it. But they're like, we bet you were. We bet you were.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, everybody would want it to be there.
That's right. All right. So the last story that we have in industry news is from Whiskey Wash and Whiskey Advocate. I combined information from
Yes.
them. They didn't work together. For this.
I was wondering that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Judge orders Uncle Nearest into receivership.
Oh my God. Following up from last month.
Yes. So as we reported on the July-August news, Tennessee whiskey producer Uncle Nearest was facing a lawsuit brought by its primary lender, Farm Credit Mid-America, for allegedly defaulting on multiple loans totaling $108 million, which Uncle Nearest blamed on its former CFO. After co-founder Fawn Weaver took to Instagram to plead her case to the brand's fans, Judge Charles Ashley Jr. imposed a gag order on both parties. Then, just a few days later, the judge decided to appoint a receiver to take control of Uncle Nearest and related entities, removing Fawn Weaver and her co-founder husband, Keith Weaver, from operational control. In the legal world, receivership is considered an extraordinary remedy used only when there is significant risk that assets will be lost, wasted, or mismanaged. The good news for Uncle Nearest is that the court crafted a receivership order that still allows the Weavers to market their whiskey so that they might mitigate any potential brand damage that might occur.
Interesting.
However, the bad news is that the order restrains Uncle Nearest from distributing, selling, or transferring any of its collateral. And because the majority of the collateral is its barreled inventory, Farm Credit Mid-America could argue that the distillery is prohibited from bottling and selling any new whiskey without the court's explicit permission. Either way, this dispute is far from over.
Well, that took a turn from last month.
I know.
Where she was like, oh, it's just, we gave him $8 million. And they're like, yeah, but we won $108 million.
Right,
and she's like,
where's the other 100?
Right. I'll tell you what rang strange to me was I was sensing a lot of control and influence from a single voice. She seemed like I'm doing stuff. And one guy can corrupt such a system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where's your checks and balances? It seemed to be like there's some shady running practices, either by just sloppiness or ignorance, or maybe from some type of corruption.
I don't know who to believe now. Like, I didn't know who to believe then, but I kind of was on the side of Uncle Nearest. But now that it's in receivership, I mean, that, like it said in the article, it's an extraordinary remedy to do that in a case like this. But I think it's because there's so much money's involved.
So we'll see how this goes out. But
we'll be following the story.
Somebody's going to own Uncle Nearest.
Because I'm interested, because they were really hitting their stride, too. They were getting a lot of awards.
Uncle Nearest will still exist, I predict. I'm just not sure if that couple's going to run it.
Right.
Go have lunch with the guy from Whistle Pig, and he'll tell you how it can go.
That's right, Bacta. Yeah. All right. So actually, we're going to do feel-good stories first and then do true crime at the end.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So you have to wait a little bit.
That's all right. I think after those 3 stories, we could use a little pick-me-up, Scott.
That's what I thought.
A little feel-good.
Yeah. So now we're doing feel-good stories.
You're going to go, Dr. Feel Good. You're going to feel good. All right.
All right. You feel good. Drink your whiskey all night.
Wow. That's very high note, Scott.
Thank you.
And on that note, the feel-good stories.
That's right. So the first one is from the drinks business. Distiller revives rye grain from a shipwreck.
All right, I'm locked in.
Yes. In 1878, the good ship James R. Bentley, carrying a cargo that included 37,000 barrels of rye grain, met its demise when it hit a submerged sandbank in the middle of Lake Huron during a storm. And there it remained for over 140 years. But thanks to the perseverance of a local whiskey distiller, its hull is finally being put to use. Chad Munger, founder and CEO of Michigan's Mammoth Distilling, is working with scientists to restore remnants of the submerged grains in order to bring back a long-forgotten rye strain called Rosen Rye, one of the most successful whiskey grains in American history, as it had been used not only by bootleggers during Prohibition, but also throughout the first half of the 20th century by some of the largest whiskey producers, including Michter's and Seagram's. However, even getting permission to access the rye was only made possible after a complicated legal dispute. You see, Illinois-based shipwreck hunter Paul Ehorn embarked on a bid to win legal ownership of the Bentley in order to avoid prosecution after he salvaged a piece of the ship and gave it to a museum. Great Lake shipwrecks are legal property of the state bordering the lake. However, Ehorn actually won his case, which makes the Bentley wreck a rarity, seeing as a new set of laws has been passed since that prohibit ownership of the shipwrecks. In any event, Munger contacted Ehorn last year to request permission to retrieve samples of the rye, which he did, and since then has been working with Dr. Eric Olson, a wheat breeding and genetics professor at Michigan State University. Incredibly, the quality of the grain had held up in the oxygen-deprived depths of Lake Huron. Said Dr. Olson, it was just as though it was the same as in the late 1800s. It's an historical treasure, which gives us a snapshot of the exact variety of rye being grown in the Great Lakes regions at the time. And indeed, Mammoth Distilling has been using subsequent generations of the rescued grain for distillation. Says Munger, the whiskey made with Rosen Rye has lived up to its historic reputation, and we're thrilled to be only a year or so away from being able to reintroduce it to the world.
So I'm just wondering, like, what path do you take in life to become the wheat germation professor guy? Like, I mean, I understand scientifically it's probably fascinating, but like, you're not 12 years old going, you know what I want to do when I grow up?
I'm going to be a wheat breeding professor.
So it just cracks me up. Not that he found the wreck, not that he found the old strains of rye grain, but he actually was able to go out and find a guy. I can do this.
I got a guy.
I got a guy who can just... So if they were using the rosin wheat during Prohibition and the first half of the 20th century, where did it go? How come we don't still have it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it had to do with rye's reputation.
Or Americans' love for carbs. We just ate it all up.
Yeah, we made bread out of it.
Right,
and just ate it.
Somewhere in a deli somewhere, someone's had a Reuben. That was the last slice.
I remember there was a paragraph, something about like rye's reputation really suffered in Prohibition because the rye that we were getting was really bad distilled Canadian rye.
Yeah.
And that's what created the whole cocktail craze, was because all of this bad whiskey was coming in. People were making it. It was coming in from Canada.
Right.
And they had to like cover up the bad taste of it. So rye, as we talked about many times on the podcast, decreased, and it only recently in the past 2 decades has resurged. Resurgence.
That's right.
We did a whole episode about it.
That's right.
I'm going to say that was 28.
All right.
Go check out and see if it's right.
It's got to be close.
So the second story, and then we'll get to true crime from Whiskey Advocate. Win Elmer T. barrel in the Sazerac sweepstakes. Sazerac Barrel Select, the company's members-only single-barrel program, is holding a sweepstakes to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which, although is based in Memphis, Tennessee, has multiple affiliate sites across the country. One lucky winner and 7 guests will receive an overnight stay at the Stag Lodge, a 5-bedroom log cabin on the distillery's grounds, plus a tour, catered lunch, and the selection of a barrel of Elmer T. Lee bourbon alongside master distiller Harlan Wheatley, who was actually mentored by Elmer T. Lee, the man himself. Additionally, the winner will receive $18,000, and they can also keep the empty barrel. This is the second year that Sazerac has offered a single barrel whiskey through its sweepstakes. Last year, a bottle of Blanton's Gold Bourbon was the main attraction, which managed to raise $1 million. To enter the sweepstakes, participants must make a minimum $100 donation by September 30th, with the winner chosen at random during the week of October 6th. So if you're feeling lucky and would like to support a good cause, just go to SazeracBarrelSelect.com/charity.
I mean, I would love a barrel of Elmer T.
That would be amazing.
And for $100, it would be a little bit of a bargain.
This reminds me of the story you were just telling me at the lounge, what Derek was doing. Make a donation, and maybe you could win a high-end pour of one of these bottles.
Yeah, so Derek, one of the owners of the local lounge in Mount Holly, if you are in the South Jersey area.
If you know, you know.
They got 68 2-ounce pours, and you pay $25 and you pull it out. Now, some could be kind of just mellow, like, you know, Eagle Rare or Blanton's, but some could be like Boss Hog, a Riff Van Winkle, or a Pappy. So 2 ounces of a Pappy pour, which for $25 is a bargain. Or you could crap out and get like a 4 Roses single barrel or something like that.
What did Paula get? Like you said,
Paula got a Jack Daniel's Bonded.
Right, I think
that's the lowest one they had too.
Jack Daniel's bottles cost like
for another $20, she could have the whole bottle.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's what happens when...
Hey, you take a shot.
Yeah, take a shot.
I did it, and I got a 4 Roses cast strength single barrel, 127 proof. Something about the lost barrel.
Something we'd never heard of before.
Yeah, so it was definitely... I think it was a push for me. I think it was probably worth about $25.
Probably. All right, so now we're going to do true crime.
True crime. It's been a long time. Entertaining and sometimes sad.
Sometimes sad, yes. First one is from CBS News. 8 suspects charged in brazen Crown Royal heist. Back to Crown Royal. Earlier this summer, police in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, arrested 8 people accused of breaking into a fenced-in storage facility and stealing a semi-tractor trailer that was loaded with more than 1,000 boxes of Crown Royal whiskey.
It's not the same place, is it?
No.
Oh.
Worth over $500,000. While 6 people were arrested and charged back in June, a 7th suspect turned himself into Windsor police in early July and was charged with 5 counts of possession with property obtained by a crime, 2 counts of possession with property obtained by a crime for trafficking.
And a hell of a hangover.
Yeah. 1 count of conspiracy to commit an indictable offense and 1 count of operation of a conveyance while prohibited. The 8th suspect was arrested in late July and charged with the same crimes as well as, get this, wearing a disguise with the intent to commit an indictable offense.
That's a crime in Canada.
That's a crime in Canada. To date, police have recovered only 66 boxes of the stolen whiskey. The other 934 and possibly more remain at large.
I mean, I'm assuming that your sentence can be bargained down by bringing up the whiskey.
Yeah, like where are those boxes?
I mean, that's not easy to hide that many.
No, it's a lot of money too.
Anybody read a storage shed in their name? Anybody?
I know, right?
Maybe Diageo set the robbery up itself to give them a reason to close that plant. You said it's not the same plant, but it's in Ontario.
That's true. So you're starting conspiracy theories.
Right.
Put on our tinfoil hats.
Yeah, I think that politician did it so they can see how many bottles you have to make now.
Yeah, Doug Ford. He's just going to pour them all out.
Exactly.
All right, so the last story that we're doing, and then we'll get to the whiskeys that are available this month. From the Alachua Chronicle in Florida. Woman arrested after crime spree, including theft of $1,000 whiskey.
Okay.
Back in June, Marie Kimberly Brown, 58, of Gainesville, Florida, was arrested for multiple incidents of theft committed over several months, including 6 that occurred in a span of just 3 days. Listen to this. At 6:09 p.m. on June 3rd, Brown went to a Bath & Body Works store and allegedly stole items valued around $670.
That's a lot.
At 1:09 a.m. on June 4th, Brown went to a CVS store and allegedly stole items valued at $598. At 6:45 p.m. the same day, the Good Pour liquor store reported to police that Brown had allegedly put a $1,200 bottle of Macallan Harmony Collection single malt scotch in a duffel bag and walked out of the store without paying. Just 3 hours later, Brown allegedly went to a different CVS, filled a shopping cart with items valued at $107 in just 2 minutes, and again walked out without paying. The next morning at 9:45 on June 5th, Brown allegedly went to a dollar store and did what she do, selected various items and left the store without paying. This time, though, the store manager confronted her in the parking lot and pulled the half-full cart away from her.
Valued at $19.75.
Oh, yeah, it is less. She drove away with items valued at $70.
$70. Yeah. Like, it's funny that the dollar store manager is the one that confronted her.
I know, right? Finally, just a few hours later, a detective who had been trafficking the thefts learned that Brown was inside a store called Haven Hospice Attic, where she was allegedly in the process of concealing $50 in shoes and clothing inside a large laundry hamper. As she tried to walk out of the store, she was detained by the detective and finally arrested. A Gainesville police spokesperson stated that Brown had 60 previous convictions, 47 of them felonies, served 11 prison sentences, and had committed an estimated 30 thefts since she was last released in January of 2022. But despite her surprisingly good taste in whiskey, now that she's been caught again, she's facing a total of 9 felony theft cases with 8 more pending and a bail set at $500,000.
I mean, the judge is going to go psycho.
I know. Talk about recidivism. My God.
Yeah.
Like she just 60 and 17 more.
I mean, the dollar store just screams like addiction to stealing.
Yeah, right? Like
I
she likes
think,
the thrill of it.
yeah, she has some type of a mental illness. I mean, steal $500 CVS, you got to be in makeup, face care items.
I don't know. CVS's prices are stupid. Like the second time was 107. It was probably just a pint of ice cream.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I went there to get cold medicine once and it was like $17 for like 10 pills. I'm like, fuck you, CVS.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you try to get a jar of peanuts, it's $17 there. Somehow they're more expensive than like Whole Foods and Wawa.
It's crazy.
The box of cereal will be like $8.99.
Yeah. Whole Foods and Wawa combined is what their prices are.
It's like if you're sick, well, too bad for you. You know?
Yeah, right.
Pay us our money.
Yeah, what I did was I looked at the prices and I'm like, that's ridiculous. And then I went online. I went to Amazon.
Yeah.
And I got a bottle for half of the price that it cost 10. I got 200 of the same medicine. 200.
Yep.
That's a fucking hell of a markup.
Yep.
All right. End of rant.
No, it's
Still sold.
I mean, Walgreens is expensive, but so much cheaper than CVS.
Yeah. All right. So now we got into new whiskeys.
New whiskeys that you can buy this month.
All right. So the first whiskey we have that you can buy this month is a brand that we haven't really talked about. We do have an expression, and we'll do it at some point. It's 15 stars. So since releasing its first whiskey in 2023, Kentucky-based 15 Stars has distinguished itself as one of the country's more notable blending houses, with 8 of their expressions receiving Whiskey Advocate scores of 90 or higher. Founded in 2019, 15 Stars has been known for its limited edition blends that typically include whiskeys sourced from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana. So they're kind of like Barrel. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And now they're releasing 3 expressions in a newly permanent brand extension called First West. They have the small batch, which includes bourbons of various ages, the youngest being their own mix of red, white, and blue corn. 103 proof, 5 to 7 years age, the mash is not disclosed. Banana bread, caramelized apple, sugar cream pie, cherry, honey, nutmeg, cigar box, and seasoned oak, $60.
Nice.
Second one is Toasted Oak, a slightly different mix of bourbons than their small batch, which is blended, divided in half, finished in separate toasted barrels, then blended back together. It's 98 proof, 5 to 7 years again, plus 5 weeks in the toasted oak barrel. The mash is not disclosed again. Licorice, ground pepper, nutmeg, caramel, peach, plum, banana, saltwater taffy, cherry, orange, toffee, oak, and tobacco. That one's $70. And something they're calling Extra Aged, a blend of older bourbon sourced from an undisclosed Kentucky distillery. It's 100 proof, 8 to 9 years aged. Again, mash not disclosed. Orange peel, cherry, caramel, cinnamon, oak, leather, malted grain, orange marmalade, plum, and caramelized sugar. That's $80.
It's very nice.
They've been winning a lot of awards and stuff,
Yes.
but I have never tasted a 15 stars.
Right. And we have one.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
Grab it, see which one it is. We're going to our vault. Our vault's a multi-layered, steel door sealed atrium with like 16 different layers and tens of thousands of bottles. That it's like one of those like ancient libraries.
We got so much.
All right. So this is the 15 stars triple cask 2.
Oh,
Cognac, rum, and apple brandy cask.
Oh.
103 proof.
cool.
Oh, it's tasted now. No, we're not.
And it's gone.
Right. Now, this one says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So this is not sourced from multiple places.
Okay, just Kentucky.
Just
But
Kentucky.
finished in those 3 different barrels.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes.
I can't wait to taste it.
Then carefully blended together at 16 and 8 years old.
Yeah. So look for that in the upcoming season.
And that's not one that's listed there, right?
It is not. This is like a new brand extension called First West, and that's actual 15 stars.
All right.
All right, so the next one is Booker's Tequila Finished Bourbon.
Yeah, I saw that come out.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So in 2018, after Booker's released its 30th anniversary batch to great acclaim, Freddie No, our best friend, sent the empty barrels to El Tesoro in Jalisco, Mexico, which used them to age a special 85th anniversary tequila. Then those barrels came back to Kentucky and were used to finish a batch of Booker's, thus creating what's being called Booker's The Reserves 2025, a new annual expression from Jim Beam. It's not only the first Booker's that has ever had a finish, but it's also the first tequila finish for any whiskey in the Beam portfolio.
Yeah.
123.3 proof, 8 years, 10 months, 11 days aged, 77 corn, 13 rye, 10 malted barley, earthy mineral notes, caramel, vanilla, brown sugar, toasted nuts, agave, dried clove, and rye spice. It's 130.
That's very reasonable for all that's going on there. So what's interesting is a Booker barrel, then a tequila barrel,
Yeah.
then back to a different Booker.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should splurge on that.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah,
get that
okay.
one.
We'll do a quick taste of that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Or maybe we'll call Freddie up this week and see if he can send it to us.
Yeah. He owes us some stuff.
He owes us some stuff anyway. Yep.
That's right. The next one is High West Bottled and Bond Bourbon.
Yes.
Utah-based High West is shining a spotlight on its house-made distillate with its new release, a Bottled and Bond Bourbon that arrives on the heels of its first 100% own-make Bottled and Bond Rye back in February. 100 proof, 4 years, 5 months aged, 64 corn, 36% rye. Rye botanicals, Honeycrisp apple, baking spice, cereal grain, graham cracker crust, dried cherry, and raspberry fruit leather, $80.
Right. See, my problem with that is it's the exact same age and probably quality of the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, which is $22. It's a 4-year Bottle and Bond, right? Now, I know that they're not as big as Heaven Hill, and had they come out at 55, I would have probably been like, that's about right.
80 seems a lot.
When I can today go get a 10-year McKenna Bottle and Bond for, I've seen it this week alone at $59.99 and $64.99. So
I agree. So like $60 would be like the high point, I think, of what I would pay for that, because it's an interesting mash bill. 64 corn, 36 rye, and it's their own make. They're not sourcing this.
I'm interested to try that.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Jack Daniel's Heritage Barrel Single Barrel.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, released originally as a limited edition expression in 2018, Heritage Barrel will now be widely available.
Widely available?
No, widely available.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, as the Jack Daniel's Distillery scales up its single barrel program. The whiskey starts out as their old number 7, but enters the barrel at a lower proof, which is said to coax out more sweetness from the barrel. The end proof is 100 proof, 7 to 9 years aged, 80 corn, 8 rye, 12 malted barley, gingerbread, sugar cookies, strawberry creamsicle, brown sugar, bananas foster, caramel syrup, and graham crackers. That's delicious. $70.
That's interesting. I mean,
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
It's not great.
Because Jack Daniels doesn't normally gouge you.
No, some of their stuff are really reasonable.
I mean, you can get a really good single barrel around 105 proof or something for like $58, $60.
Yeah.
Now, they have some really good cast strength single barrels that will run you around 80. But once again, it's a cast strength single barrel. It's 80, not a bottle and bond 4-year.
Yeah, High West.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the Hirsch I'm drinking right now is a single barrel. It's 104 proof, and it's around $40, $42.
Yeah.
And
it's their lowest single barrel expression.
It's 4 years and 8 months. So it's actually older than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they have higher ones that are like 130. But
yeah. Guys, we haven't tried Hirsch Town. We tried 6 at a tasting at Benash the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And got this bottle, which means it's the 7th one that we've tried.
I don't know how they do it. And pizza.
And we had pizza.
Yeah.
And water. And saltines.
And saltines. And the lovely Taylor and her strange little dog.
Oh, I can't believe I forget his name.
I forget his name too.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got the master distiller all the way from the West Coast.
Yeah, he had to fly in for that.
Dude. You know what? I don't even know why I mentioned Benash tastings, because I don't want people to go because they're already sold out. I can barely get it as it is.
I know.
So forget what I said.
Yeah. But we need the thing from the Men in Black.
Yeah.
This is called a neuralizer. It's a gift from some friends from out of town. This red eye here will isolate the electronic impulses in your brains, more specifically the ones for memory.
What in the hell is going on?
Excellent question. And the answer you're looking for lies right here.
Hey, Scott. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Right, the crickets. That's where we got the crickets from.
I know we got the crickets voices from the aliens on Men in Black.
All right, so the next one we have is from Kings County.
Oh, yeah.
Empire Rye.
I've had it.
You've had this?
Maybe not. Empire Rye rings a bell to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did somebody else have an Empire Rye?
This just came out.
I'm going to Google it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
All right, hold on. Brooklyn-based Kings County Distillery has unveiled a new flagship whiskey, their Empire Rye, which was previously available only on a limited basis, but which will now be available year-round. So wait.
Maybe I did.
Right, so maybe you did have one when it was limited.
Yes.
And now this is larger availability. 90 proof, at least 3 years aged, 80 rye, 20 malted barley.
Ooh, very interesting.
Yeah. Honeycomb, orange zest, cinnamon, toffee brittle, dried apricot, wood spice, maple, anisette, and marzipan, $69. Hi, Sue.
Yeah. It's funny. I meet a lot of bourbon drinkers who are anti-rye. And the simple thing is, ryes are so complex and different.
Yeah.
Like, yes, some are very herbaceous, but some are really sweet. Think about the malted rye that we had from Smoke Wagon, for example, was amazing. Distillery.
Yeah. Malted ryes give you so much depth of flavor.
So an 80% rye mash bill is going to be so interesting.
Yeah.
But remember, bullet rye is 95.5 and it's sweet and approachable.
Yeah. With 20 malted barley, so no corn at all.
Right.
So I would love to try that.
Yeah.
So, possibly in honor of true crime legend Marie Kimberly Brown, that we just talked about, Macallan Harmony Collection, the bottle that she stole, has put out 2 new expressions.
Okay.
Both made in partnership with Jing Tea, a company that sources, quote, single garden variety teas from China. So they have the Phoenix Honey Orchid Tea Highland Single Malt.
Yeah.
Created to mirror the fruity profile of oolong tea from China's Phoenix mountain range, it's finished in both bourbon barrels and sherry casks. It's 87.8 proof, at least 3 years aged, 100% malted barley, fruity and floral with roasted oak and dessert wine overtones, $200.
Yeah, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
That's a hard no.
Yeah, and then the organic Cherrywood Lapsang tea, Highland Single Malt. This one takes cues from one of Jing's Cherrywood smoked Lapsang teas, aged in sherry casks. 89.8 proof, at least 3 years aged, 100% malted barley, dark fruit, toffee, warm tannins, malt, sweet oak, and a wisp of smoke, $190.
So we had this sometime, or I found a bottle of this.
We had a chocolate,
Yes.
something, it's someplace.
Yeah.
I forget.
We had more than just a taste of it.
Yeah, it was at somebody's house, wasn't it?
I feel like I bought one. I feel like there was a crazy deal that if you bought this and this, you got that for like $150. I think it was that Cork and Barrel place that I took you to last week.
Yeah.
This is years ago, though.
Yes.
But I remember us thinking it was for a scotch. It was just amazing.
It was delicious.
We used to rate every whiskey we drank, but we started drinking them at such an alarming rate
It's so alarming.
that we couldn't keep up on it. It's literally what happened. We would go to tasting, drink 6, and then have another one 8 on the weekend, and before we know it, we were 35 whiskeys behind, and then 105 whiskeys behind, and we're like, we can't do this anymore. But I remember thinking at the time it was a chocolate bomb, and it was one of the most delicious scotches I've ever had.
Yeah, I think they like roasted the barley to make it like a chocolate barley, and that's where the
But then the next time I went back to get it was like $300 the one they had. I'm like, well, I'm out now.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
Macallan does what they do.
Yeah.
So 4 more from New Riff.
Love New Riff.
Red Turkey Wheat Bourbon.
Though before you say anything, I just noticed for the first time that some of the New Riffs in the store are getting up there a little bit. It used to be that you came in, it was like 45, 47, 45, and then like a 58 for like something that would be $150 for anybody else. I don't know if it's just that they have time to experiment more, so they're now creating more expensive whiskey, or they're just kind of like feeling themselves a bit. So we'll see.
Okay, so this is the Red Turkey Wheat Bourbon. Throughout its 11-year history, New Riff has routinely put the spotlight on heirloom grain varietals, including the ones used in this bottle and bond bourbon made with red turkey wheat, which first appeared on shelves in 2021. While the latest iteration uses the same template as its predecessors, it will have a greater reach, selling in stores nationwide.
No.
It's 100 proof, at least 5 years aged, 75 corn, 25 wheat, 5 malted barley.
Yeah.
Grainy and bready with clove-studded oranges, pralines, dark fruits, zesty citrus, and black cherries, $60.
$60,
$60,
exactly.
yeah.
My oldest friend, his daughter got married, and the whiskey selection at the wedding was not going to be good.
Oh, right.
So we went to a state store in Pennsylvania on the way to the wedding, me and him, and they had a New Riff single barrel there at like 117, 118 proof. It was aged like 6 to 7 years, and we got it. The bartender was cool. I was like, can I put it with you? He's like, no, we are not allowed to have any outside whiskey with me, and I can't see it. So I had it like under my table, like Prohibition style. And then people who knew would rotate over. They'd be like, can I have a glass of ice, please, from the bartender? And they would come rotate over, and I would just give them a pour. And we pretty much killed that shit for the whole night.
Yeah, love New Riff. I mean, we did a whole episode on it. I mean, their single barrels can be a little weird. So how was that one?
It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
And by weird, I mean non-traditional bourbon notes.
I caught up to the remnants. So there's about maybe 3 ounces left in the bottle. Finished it.
Yeah.
It was actually very delicious.
Yeah. The next one we have is not a whiskey strictly, but interesting nonetheless. Penelope.
Yep.
Black Walnut Old-Fashioned Bottled Cocktail.
Oh, interesting. Penelope jumped into that.
Yeah, Penelope Bourbon continues its foray into the ready-to-pour sector, the first of which was a peach-flavored old-fashioned that launched back in April.
I missed that one.
Yeah, we missed it. The new version, like its predecessor, is a blend of bourbons and rye. However, while the peach version featured 100% maple syrup, the Black Walnut release uses Demerara sugar.
Is there a black walnut in here? Is there a black walnut in here?
No, is there a black person here?
I know. Is there a black person here?
The Chit Show, if you know, you know.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. Chit, C-H-I-T, Chit Show.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
It's 76 proof. No age statement. Mash bill not disclosed. It's a cocktail. Brown sugar, bruleed bananas, cherries, maple, nuts, pepper, and cinnamon, $30.
I've never had a brulee banana to use that as a tasting note.
Ooh, I had a bruleed banana in New Orleans.
I love that name drop, New Orleans. I've never been there, and he has. God, he brings it up every day. He's like, oh, you know what?
Every day.
He goes, yeah, this morning I was drinking my orange juice and thinking, man, I remember that banjo I saw in New Orleans. Not even relevant, just random.
It was on top of like waffles.
Yeah, the sun came up. I said, oh, new day, which reminds me of New Orleans when I was down there.
Look, I almost died in New Orleans, okay?
He did. He actually almost did. It's not even a joke. It could have happened.
Could have happened. You guys remember there was a terrorist attack on Bourbon Street, but it was at 3 a.m. I'm 57 years old. I was in bed.
Right. But we didn't know that.
Although not in bed till 2 a.m.
Actually, what Scott realized that night was New Year's Eve.
It was New Year's Eve, yeah.
New Year's Eve, the guy drove the car down the street, ran over a bunch of people. Terrible.
Yeah.
And then Scott was asleep. You know, Scott's a guy that he's disciplined enough to shut his phone off. I can't do that. I can't shut myself off in the
I
morning.
have earplugs too because I can't sleep without the earplugs.
So he got to realize how many people cared about him because he had like 37 text messages and 9 missed calls or something.
So many missed calls. My mom called me like 5 times. Like she was really worried. It was I was really sad.
I was telling people because I was actually crashing at some of our mutual friends' house for the night. They wanted to keep calling him. I said, listen, it's New Year's in New Orleans. He's had to have been drinking.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's like an hour. You're an hour behind us, right?
Yep.
From where we are in Jersey. So I said, either he's dead or he's sleeping. I go, calling him 1,000 times is only going to make us feel better. It's not going to do anything for him.
Yeah.
I get, so like, let's just relax. He'll wake up, see his message, and he'll call us. And that's what happened.
I mean, it was a terrible thing, but luckily it was an hour after that we had already gone to bed and we were on the other side of Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Right, but you crossed that street several times.
Several times during the day. Yeah. We
So,
were
I mean, it's
in that
creepy.
intersection.
It's creepy.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
I mean, there's crazy stuff happening in the world. So God bless everybody.
All right, so the last two are Weller expressions because Buffalo Trace is celebrating W.L. Weller's 200th birthday with 2 new ultra premium expensive releases.
And I will say again that William LaRue Weller was my favorite bourbon maybe I ever had. I'm not sure. I mean, for me, the Little Book Chapter 3 is my favorite, but oh my God. So at the Global Whiskey Challenge last year, I drank about a third of a bottle at lunch.
Yes.
Because all the top 10 were on the table while we were having lunch, and I just gravitated to that, and I was drinking it along with my boy Larry.
Yeah,
and
you and Larry.
we were hitting that really hard, and I knew exactly what I was drinking. And then, funny thing, we actually got to take it home.
Yes, we did. So we had enough to do
We had a third of a bottle left.
Man,
And
it was delicious.
It was one of the best whiskeys we've ever had.
All right, so the first one is the 18-year, which is the oldest Weller ever released.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
It's 90 proof, 18 years aged, 70 corn, 16 wheat, 14 malted barley, delicately aged fruit, tobacco, warm baking spices, and crisp green pear, $500.
It's like green pear, vanilla, shortbread, hand job, apples fritter.
High class call girl.
Right, high class call girl. Is that a tasty note? It is for the William LaRue Weller.
And the second one is the Millennium number 2, which follows the number 1 release last May and blends together vintage wheated bourbon and wheat whiskey. It's 99 proof, 19 to 24 years aged. Mash is not disclosed. Dark cherry, rich butterscotch, warm vanilla, well-aged oak, and a bold, enduring finish. $7,500.
$7,500. Just ship it to like the billionaires. And like,
I know, right? Who's buying that?
So I mean, that's the question. So
Billionaires.
I'm going to ask you something, Scott, right now. How much money is in your estate
You're going to ask me that?
where you pull the trigger on a $7,500 bottle? No, I'm not asking what you have now. I'm asking what you would need to have to pull the trigger.
So that $7,500
Is like
equals
75.
like $75.
Right.
Yeah. So if it's,
Would you do it if you had 14 million?
oh yeah,
All right. What about 4 million?
yeah.
All right. What about a million?
No,
See, there is lines.
Yeah. No.
Because a million, you're like, that's like,
because it's in accounts. It's everywhere.
Right, right.
It's for retirement, right?
Right,
It's
right,
not for
right.
buying
Right,
$7,500 whiskey.
right. Hashtag Scott's probably got a million right now. That's why he reacted like that. He's not buying it for us right now.
I'm doing the math in my
He's
head.
like, oh well, you know, based on my island properties and my offshore accounts.
I have no real estate except what my parents will bequeath me.
Right, exactly. So you do.
Well, that's true. I do. I have a,
Exactly. So, yeah, I have some good property under a bridge somewhere.
under the bridge downtown.
No, but
That's where Ed
so
slices wrist.
I have to see. Stay tuned, everybody. But
Oh my God.
I think that $2 million is not enough. I don't know that $4 million is that my total wealth or liquid cash. If it's my liquid
Well,
cash,
right.
Like I already have a house and cars and stuff like that.
No, $4 million total wealth.
And I'm not doing $7,500 for a bottle. Now somebody else will, I'm sure. But
And $7,500. That's a lot of fucking
a
money.
bottle?
That you're just gonna urinate out. of your bladder.
remember, I can buy 10 other exclusive ones, or I can buy 100 $75 bottle ones.
I mean,
right?
there's no way that anything. I'm not shitting on Weller and their Millennium number 2, but there's no way that anything tastes as good as $7,500.
Right. I could buy 80 Bookers.
Right. Pick your favorite whiskey, take its price, and divide it into $7,500.
So it's not that I'm saying it's not for somebody, but who? I'm just trying to figure out who is just running out and buying the $7,500 bottle.
Billionaires.
Right. Or 100 millionaires.
Yeah.
Or basketball players, because they throw their money around.
Well, that's true.
Or jazz guys from the 20s.
Hey there, fellas. All right, so the next thing we do is what's coming up on the podcast. And this one, we just have one line item because next week on the 26th, we're going to do the last call, summer 2024.
I feel like we haven't done a last call in 2 years. I swear to God, it's been so long. So this season has been the longest season ever.
It seems like a long season.
I don't remember doing the last call. I don't remember one word I said on the last call of the last call.
The last call. It ends is season 13. And in that, we'll tell you what's coming up in season 14. So that's it.
No foreshadowing. We're going to make you.
yet.
You have to listen to the last call.
That's right.
Right. We're like Weller now. We're just making you do things like like we're like Diageo. Just
strategic. Yeah.
The last call is like Cliff Notes for the season.
It is.
It's for all you lazy people that don't want to listen to all our episodes.
Dude, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
It's the Cliff Notes.
It's Cliff Notes for the podcast. All right, so go get some of that whiskey. There's a lot of affordable stuff. And once again, if you can get anything from Hirsch and anything from New Riff, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be, for the most part, price effective.
Yeah,
Right?
so I'm counting right now 7, 8. So 8 of the 13 were under $100.
Yeah. I would like to say we're trying to find you deals, but no, the market is changing a bit. There's still the elite out there, but I think the distilleries realize that it's become competitive. COVID and post-COVID is over.
Yep. And now a glut of whiskey has happened.
And once again, Trump's tariffs, this is not political, it's factual.
Yeah.
Trump's tariffs have hurt the spirits industry. And
I mean, we saw it firsthand. We got uninvited to a whiskey judging competition because they couldn't get enough whiskeys.
Right, and it's just business, and it wasn't personal to us at all. We understand.
Yeah.
We've had to put Gabe on furlough. You know?
Right, yeah. Gabe won't be on until like January.
Yeah, Gabe's laid off right now. He's getting unemployment.
Gabe's like, what the fuck?
Right. Gabe's on unemployment. Just mail him airplane bottles. Like every Friday, he gets like 4 airplane bottles in the mail to sustain him until he can bring them back on.
What's the gin name? Was it Red Stag?
He's got Red Stag. He's got the Devil's Cut.
Devil's Cut, yeah.
He's like barely sustaining right now. We have him on life support. Yeah, so it's not easy around here either.
No.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Cheers, everybody.
Later.